I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya.
That's a huge win.
Palm Coast has secured state funding for a medical training facility similar to a college campus that's planned for Town Center. State House Rep Paul Renner, who represents Flagler County, says the MedNex project survived Governor Ron DeSantis' vetoes.
Given the fact that $1 billion was just cut out of the budget, and basically every legislator's member project was cut.
He tells WNZF the project is vitally important in a COVID-19 world.
I mean, one of the things they're going to be doing is training respiratory therapists, and we've seen how the COVID virus attacks people's respiratory systems. So, certainly something that we want to see more qualified people in the field. Plus, we have in Florida an older population, as we do here in Flagler County, that is in greater need of health care.
Renner says this will elevate quality and access to health care while improving costs for Flagler County residents. As the COVID-19 rate continues to rise in Florida and in Flagler County, John Arking reports the importance of testing is becoming even more pronounced.
As of Monday, there were 302 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Flagler County with 5 total deaths. That represents about 2% of the total. That tracks with the state's percentage, as do hospitalizations. In Flagler County, there have been 29 total hospitalizations, or about 10% of the total. Statewide, there have been just over 14,300, also about 10%. But as cases continued to mount, Flagler County Health Officer Bob Snyder and Flagler Medical Director Dr. Stephen Bickle say we have to be ready for more testing.
We've seen an increase in people, probably due to anxiety, because they're seeing the surge, so they want to make sure they don't have it, and they might be symptomatic too. So they're going to the Daytona State College campus site, and so now we're in the hundreds. We can test up to 150 people there on a daily basis for the 3 days a week that we're doing the testing, and we're also seeing an increase in people coming to the health department to get tested as well. So I think anxiety is causing folks to go and get tested.
One of the reasons we want to expand the testing is we want to be getting asymptomatic people in for testing, because a fair number of the people will be asymptomatic. We want those people coming in because that's how we detect some of these people who can spread this without knowing it. So that's another point why we want the high testing rate to capture that group as well.
To schedule a test at the Daytona State College testing site, residents are asked to call the Flagler County Emergency Operations Center at 313-4200. You can also find additional details at flaglercounty.org. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
There is no room for time here. It's on us right now.
A dunes restoration project in Flagler Beach is in jeopardy after more than a dozen residents are refusing to sign easements. Without those 17 signatures, the Army Corps of Engineers can't shore up the dunes on their property, putting all of the dunes at risk of a breach. County Commissioner Dave Sullivan says the project is fully funded with state and federal dollars, and he sought to clear up any misconceptions about the project.
We do not understand the reasoning for the people who don't want to do it, other than maybe they don't have faith that the government can do anything. This is not eminent domain. We're not taking their property away. We're enhancing it. And I think that some of the people are just anti-government. Some of the people think there's some kind of money to be had here, and there is none.
At a special commission meeting Monday, County Attorney Al Hadid stressed this project has to happen.
This is, in my considered view, the most important public works project ever in the history of Flagler County.
The deadline for residents to sign off on the easements is today.
This is not something we keep kicking the can down the street. And the Army Corps, they're wanted all over the country. If we keep turning this down and not meeting the deadlines, they'll just take the dredge and head for greener pastures someplace else along the coast.
A Flagler County Sheriff's Office investigation results in the return of stolen property and the arrests of 5 repeat offenders. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
A neighbor provided surveillance video showing a pickup truck driving to the rear of the property, and a tip from the property manager led to the arrest of 5 well-known suspects. Last Thursday, the Sheriff's Office got a call reporting a burglary on Panda Bear Lane in Bunnell. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
Our problem area crime enforcement unit did an outstanding job following up on a reported burglary.
What was the result of their investigation?
The arrest of 5 individuals and the recovery of all stolen property to the rightful owner.
Taken into custody were the owner of the truck, 30-year-old Taylor Landrum, 45-year-old Ocean Gregory, 38-year-old Curtis Futch, 38-year-old Nicole Tennyson, and 31-year-old Houston Futch. All were arrested and charged with burglary of an unoccupied dwelling and grand theft.
Great job by the team involved, and I'm sure the victim is very happy for the recovery of his stolen property.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
Usually during election season, we hear absentee ballot and vote by mail ballot. What's the difference?
Flagler County Supervisor of Elections Katie Linhart says nothing.
That's just a change in vocabulary, really. It's the same exact thing. They're not two different mail ballots.
Linhart said the word absentee got its history from having to send ballots overseas to soldiers because they were absent and could not vote in person. And now?
The legislature changed it a couple of years ago to be called vote by mail so people would understand you don't have to be overseas or in the military. Anybody can vote by mail.
Linhart said that her office will mail out more vote by mail ballots this year than ever before. To listen to all of the interview with Katie Linhart, download the Flagler radio app and then go to the Free for All Friday podcast. Tomorrow, what percentage of voters will do it by mail, and what's the return rate of vote by mail ballot? From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's morning news. I'm Amy Cherry.